Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you are watching today because I am making flour tortillas. Oh my goodness, these tortillas are so delicious. They're so soft and tender, and as you can see, very pliable. I cannot wait to show you how to make these, so stay with me. So if you are new here to my channel, I am Chef Christy and I share delicious recipes every single week. I love to inspire you to cook and try new things. So if you have not subscribed, I hope that you consider to do so. And if you hit that notification bell, then you will know as soon as I upload a new video. Now, flour tortillas are not difficult to make. They just take a little extra effort, and believe me when I say it is well worth it. One of my very favorite things to do on this channel is to inspire you to try something new, something that you have never made. So if you have never tried to make your own flour tortillas, it is super easy, and I'm excited to share with you just how to do it. It's also perfect to do as a fun activity with your kids in the kitchen. They will love to make flour tortillas. So let me just show you the very basic ingredients and just how to make them. So what I have here in a very large bowl is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I'm going to use a cup of a vegetable shortening. Now I'm using a butter flavored vegetable shortening just because I like the flavor that it adds, but of course you can just use a plain vegetable shortening. Then I'm going to add some salt and baking powder and then some very hot water, and that will just help to incorporate that shortening into your flour mixture. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I'm just going to mix this together. And next I'm going to add my shortening. And then I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm just going to work this shortening into the flour. Okay, so once your shortening is really good and incorporated into your flour, then I'm going to pour in my hot water. And this just helps kind of melt that shortening into the flour mixture. But I'm going to continue to just kind of knead this with my hand. Now, as you can see, this dough is a little bit wet, a little bit sticky, and that's okay. You just keep working with it. Now, as you can see, it's starting to come off of my hands. Okay, so once you have worked with your dough, it comes off your hands, you kind of have a clean bowl. I'm going to transfer this to just a dry, clean surface, and I'm just going to begin to knead this for a good, probably close to 10 minutes. So as you can see, I'm just taking the heel of my hand and pressing it down, folding it over and pressing it, just a basic knead. And this is really an important step to ensure that you have a nice, soft, tender, pliable tortilla. This creates the elasticity in your tortilla. So the longer that you knead your dough, I mean, you can actually feel it change as you're kneading it. It just becomes smoother. So that is such an important step. I know this is the part that takes a little bit extra effort, but I'm telling you, you really want to make sure you knead your dough. It's just a beautiful, soft dough. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of roll my dough out into a nice log. And then I'm going to cut it into equal pieces to make my dough balls. Okay, so I have rolled out my dough and I'm going to measure it, and it's right about 22 inches. So anywhere from 22 to 24 inches, and you should get anywhere from 12 to 14 tortillas. Okay, so I'm going to really kind of eyeball this more than anything, but I'm going to try to cut it into the center, and then I'm going to cut this one in the center. I'm going to cut these into half. And then these. Okay, I told you that you would have between 12 and 14, and I end up with 16, so go figure. It really just depends on how you cut them, how big that you want them when you roll them out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a clean towel over top of my dough, and I'm going to let it rest for at least 15 minutes. Okay, so my dough has rested. And now I'm going to make little balls, and I'm going to show you just how I do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dough, and I'm just going to kind of take my fingers and make a little circle, and I'm going to kind of push that dough up through my hands, and then I'm going to gather it and kind of pinch it at the bottom, and then I'm just going to take it in the palm of my hands and just roll it to make a nice smooth little ball, just like that. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little station set up to get ready to start cooking up these tortillas. So I have a sheet tray and a piece of aluminum foil, and then to this I have some damp paper towels that I'm going to line kind of inside of my aluminum foil, and I'm going to fold this over like so. And this is where I'm going to place my tortillas. Once they're cooked and they're hot, I'm going to place them inside here to keep them from drying out and to keep them nice and moist. And that damp paper towel kind of steams them and helps them to stay nice and soft. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to begin to roll out my dough balls. Now you can get one of these really fancy tortilla press, which I do have one. However, I've just never really had good success using them. I really just prefer just to use a rolling pin and to roll them out. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will show you just how to do it. All right, I am going to sprinkle just a little bit of flour on my work surface, and I'm going to flour my rolling pin. Then I'm just going to begin to roll them out. So once I begin rolling out my dough, I'm going to go ahead and get my skillet. I'm going to turn the fire on underneath my skillet, and I want this to be at a medium to low heat. We do not want our skillet super, super hot, but I'm going to let that start to get warm, and then I'm going to roll out another dough. And I like to have my first one rolled out before I turn the fire on underneath my skillet, and then roll out my second one, and then I'm just going to start alternating, just rolling out a dough, putting it in the skillet until they're all done. Okay, and I am using my cast iron skillet just a dry skillet, and now I'm going to place my tortilla right inside of my skillet. Okay, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to place this in my aluminum foil inside this paper towel. And I'm going to begin with my second one. This is my last tortilla. So the tortillas are all done, but I want to show you just how beautiful these tortillas are. Look at these. Look how soft and tender and pliable they are. They're so delicious. And to store these tortillas, you can just simply place them into a large Ziploc bag. Just like that. Now there are a lot of things that you can do with a flour tortilla. As you well know, tacos and fajitas, but listen. I went to San Antonio one time and we went to this little tortilla factory where we got to watch the little ladies make tortillas, and then we got a dozen to go, and they sent us home with a cinnamon and sugar butter. And I'm just saying, there is nothing better than a nice, warm, fresh tortilla with cinnamon and sugar butter. So that's what I'm going to make today. Let me show you how I do it. Okay, I am just going to spread some butter that I've added some cinnamon and sugar to. And roll this bad boy up. Oh my goodness. These are so good. I really hope that you give these a try. But thank you so much for watching today. I will see you soon with more recipes.